You know, in sports, some games just come down to a single heroic performance. Today, we're going to break down an NFC Championship thriller where a quarterback who was battling injury and a whole season of doubt delivered a performance so perfect it punched his team's ticket to Super Bowl 60.
I mean, listen to that. An ice-cold NFC Championship gem. That's exactly how this game was described, and believe me, for good reason. In the biggest, highest-stakes moment you can imagine, one player delivered a performance that didn't just smash expectations, it actually rewrote a piece of playoff history.
So let's set the stage, right? We're at a roaring Lumen Field in Seattle, and the prize? A trip to Super Bowl 60. For the two teams out there on the field, this wasn't just some other game. This was it. This was the culmination of an entire season's worth of work, with absolutely everything on the line.
And man, what a matchup. A true clash of titans. On one side, you've got the Seattle Seahawks, the NFC's #1 seed with a fantastic 14-3 record. And on the other, their bitter divisional rivals, the Los Angeles Rams, who also just happen to be the defending NFC champions. A true heavyweight bout if there ever was one.
And right in the middle of all this, Seahawks quarterback Sam Darnold. I mean, the story coming into this game was just stacked against him. Get this, he was playing through a painful oblique injury, he'd led the entire league in turnovers during the regular season, and now he's staring down the defending champs. This was the guy they signed to replace a fan favorite, and now the entire season is resting on his shoulders. Talk about pressure. So, you've got this incredible setup. How does the game actually start? Well, it was an absolute slugfest. The first half was this super tense, back-and-forth fight where neither team was willing to give up an inch.
Okay, so Seattle throws the first punch with a Kenneth Walker touchdown, but the Rams immediately fire back. They chip away with a couple of field goals before Matthew Stafford finds Kyren Williams to actually take the lead. But just before halftime, Darnold leads this critical 74-yard drive and caps it off with a touchdown to Jackson Smith-Njigba. What a sequence!
So we get to halftime, right? And the lead is just razor thin, but you could feel the momentum kind of swinging back to Seattle. The tension was just incredible. You just knew the second half was going to come down to one or two massive plays. And boy, did that massive play come. Right there in the third quarter. This is the moment where the entire feel of the game just flipped on its head because of one single critical mistake.
A muffed punt. I mean, come on, that's one of the most devastating errors you can make in football. It just gives the other team the ball with no warning. The Rams returner, Xavier Smith, just couldn't hang on, and in a championship game, a mistake like that, it's absolutely catastrophic.
And you better believe Seattle was all over it. They pounced on that ball deep in Rams territory, getting a golden opportunity to really seize control of this game.
And Seattle did not waste a second. On the very next play, bam, Darnold fires a 17-yard touchdown pass to Jake Bobo. From turnover to touchdown, just like that. They turn that costly mistake into instant points, and suddenly their lead stretches to 24-13.
But look, the Rams aren't the defending champs for nothing. They didn't just roll over, they fought back, which set the stage for the game's final, nail-biting moments. And it all came down to Seattle's defense, which had been the best in the entire league all year long.
So, time's winding down. The Rams have the ball. They're driving for a potential game-winning score. This is it. This is the moment of truth. Could they actually complete the comeback and punch their own ticket back to the Super Bowl?
And it all boils down to this one single play. 4th and goal from the 6-yard line. The game, the season, the Super Bowl berth, everything is hanging right here in the balance.
And that #1 ranked Seattle defense, they did exactly what they've been doing all season long. They held the line. It was Pro Bowl corner Devin Witherspoon who came up huge, breaking up the pass in the end zone to save the game. And even after a late taunting penalty gave the Rams a whole new chance, that defense just stood tall and slammed the door shut.
And that was it. That final stop. And the place just erupts. The celebration is on. The Seahawks had done it. They were headed back to the biggest stage in all of football.
Final score, 31-27. Your Seattle Seahawks are the NFC champions. What a hard-fought, dramatic win against their biggest rivals.
But we have to circle back to the hero of this whole story, right? Sam Darnold. For a quarterback who led the whole league in turnovers, his final stat line in this game was just unreal. 346 yards and, most importantly, under the brightest lights, 0 turnovers. Just a flawless performance when it mattered most.
But inside that incredible stat line, there's one number that takes this performance from just great to legendary. And that number is 3.
So what's so special about 3 touchdowns? Well, get this. All three of them were thrown while he was under pressure. That makes Sam Darnold the first quarterback ever in the next-gen stats era to throw 3 touchdowns under pressure in a single playoff game. A new NFL record. Absolutely ice cold.
So what's the prize for pulling off a win like that? A date with the New England Patriots in the Super Bowl. And if that matchup sounds familiar, it should. It is a rematch of that absolutely legendary, and for Seattle fans, absolutely heartbreaking, Super Bowl 49.
So that leaves us with this one big, fascinating question. Sam Darnold just delivered a career-defining, record-breaking performance to get his team here. Can he conjure that same magic one more time, on the biggest stage of all, to bring a second championship to Seattle? Well, we're all going to have to wait and see.